Hi, this is Alexandra with CJ's Elite Custom Competition Suits and Glam Competition Jewelry. We carry posing suits for men and women, both amateurs and pros. We carry bikini, fitness, figure, bodybuilding, and also men's classic physique shorts. We're doing a Black Friday sale. All of our suits are 50% off. Check us out online.
You're looking for the best? Look no further. Pride Nutrition, the highest quality supplement line in the industry. Today only, use the discount code MMR30 and receive 30% off and a free shaker cup to the first 50 orders.
I think a lot of these guys are going to be in for a rude awakening. It's going to just take them a little more time than they're anticipating. But I really think that's going to be an exciting class.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it evolves, but I think the classic, you could get a merge of the classic and the men's. You know, we're probably going to get it anyway. I mean, you've just said they're going to put the weight limit up by 5 pounds. So here we go again. You know, we start off over here with a class. We move it a little bit there, then there, and then back. Bring another class in. Off we go again.
Yeah. Now we'll touch on the class that is really probably has what we would call the most controversy, if that's the term we want to use, and that's a Bikini Division. And it's because it is so subjective. Bikini's not just about the physique. We know that. It's about your presentation, your posing, your tan, your hair, your makeup. Certain body parts really need to stand out. How you portray yourself on stage. It almost has become so difficult to pick in a top 5. So often you have people walking away saying, well, why did they choose these two in this class, but the next class they chose it different, and then the next class they chose it different? Do you think that at some point they need to come up with some sort of a mandatory posing criteria, or because there's just so much differentiating from class A to B to C to F that there's too much back and forth.
I think it's become too technical. Let's be blunt. Bikini Class is a beauty contest for girls who look honed and fit. Yeah. I think I've seen cases where it's almost like, well, we can't see her ribs. Why do we need to see her ribs? You know, why does she have to have a vein in a delt? You know, right. I give you a story. Nicole Wilkins won her first figure 2009. I had never seen her. She came out of the 2009 Olympia. I'll always remember she was number 26. She was on the end of the row. And I was working, well, not working, there was a couple of people from bodybuilding.com, a couple of girls, who were asking me information on the guys, you know, because I was sitting there and I was telling, well, he was 4th and whatever it is. And they said, who do you think's won this? I said, well, I don't know very few of these girls, but the blonde girl on the end. And the reason why, she'd be the one I'd put on the cover. I'm sorry, guys, I don't want to be, you know, what's the sexist or anything, but we're looking at very, very beautiful women. Yeah. Don't ask them to be more extreme than they are, but have them looking healthy. I don't mean they come on voluptuous and like the old Miss World or whatever it is, but they look trained and honed, and obviously the hair and everything's great, but don't overcomplicate it with all these. And I think that's why you jump from one criteria to another, because what did we do? Well, why don't we do it this time? It's like, it's the bump. I almost think that's the same with the men, you know. It's like they walk on and say, he's first, he's second.
They stand out.
Yeah, you don't have to, you know, spend 3 hours trying to decide it.
But do you think then, which would explain the last several years, 3 or 4 years you had a bikini champion who was attractive, but she had a very athletic physique. I don't think there was much argument and that she was the Olympia champion for several years and did a good job. And then this past year, you had a battle where she was off. She came in really off. You had 1 or 2 others who were usually in the top 5 that maybe just weren't at their best. and you had a girl who has been kind of chipping away, and when the dust settled, you had a new bikini champion. And there was all kinds of screams on the internet. Oh, why did this happen? So-and-so could have won it. So-and-so could have won it. And I say to people all the time, well, when you look at the entire package, can you show me another athlete in the top 5 who deserved to win? And all they can talk about is things like, well, what about biceps or triceps or shoulders or you know, maybe she should put on more muscle. And I would say, well, when you look at physique, tan, hair, makeup, posing, presentation, the whole package, Courtney King deserved to win.
Right.
You know, now again, was there another girl who was a little more muscular? Sure. Was there a different girl who had a little bit bigger glutes? Sure. But it comes back to what you're saying. Who had the wow factor that given day?
Yeah.
But it creates so much controversy back and forth. That's why I almost wonder, do they need to add one small element to start to alleviate some of that? Because it's really not fair to a champion to have to hear scuttlebutt, because it is all only opinions. But in bodybuilding, they know, get big, get dry, get hard, get conditioned. There you go. You don't usually hear too much argument about who's first, who's third, who's fourth. A little bit, you can flip-flop one or two, but Phil Heath has been a champion. There's no argument there. So at some point, don't you think they almost need to do something to protect not only themselves, but the girls who are winning?
If you're a champion, you're there to be shot at. That's just human nature, especially in this day and age with the internet. People never used to get that opportunity to decry a champion before those days. So even if you create the perfect look, there's still going to be critics.
Right.
The thing a champion should do is ignore it and just bash on. But I'm not really sure what element you would bring in. I still go on the day, psh, that's the one. That's the one that stands out. And it's not saying, well, I've got a preference for blondes or brunettes. It's like, who's got the best overall package, who makes an impact? And of course, my own little simplistic way is, who would I put on the cover?
There you go. There you go. There you go, guys. Did you hear that? So all of you back out there talking about the bikini division, things aren't fair. In one class, they look for this. In another class, they look for this. Do you have a wow factor? Do you pop on that given day? Are you the one who stands out? There you go. Now, what about the girls who have a great physique and just, unfortunately, aren't quite as appealing? What do you tell those girls? Because they're training hard too.
Well,
they're training hard too.
It's very, very unfair. It's very unfair for women and men in all walks of life. A guy can get away with having a good personality and looking like Lurch from Frankenstein's, but a girl, unfortunately, you know, and I'm not being facetious. No. I think it's unfair. I think it's unfair to judge a girl all on the way they look. You know, I've often said this, you know, back in the days of women's bodybuilding, I got to be very careful now with the names I use. Corrie Everson had a great look. She had a great face. She had a very muscular physique, which, you know, took things way ahead of Rachel McLeish. If Corrie Everson didn't have such an attractive face, she wouldn't have got the same results. It's all part of, unfortunately, the way men and women are graded, you know. And it's, if a girl's got a pretty face, if she's a Sarah Lyon, you know, she's going to get further ahead than somebody who's not a Sarah Lyon.
Absolutely. But, you know, it really is. It is an understanding of the complete package on that given day. And I think for the most part, 9 out of 10 times, they do get it right. They hit it on that. So, Peter, it's been an absolute pleasure. I really appreciate sitting down with me. Guys, for all of you out there, if you didn't catch segment 1, catch segment 1. If you caught segment 1, hopefully you're catching this part. And hopefully we'll get to catch up with Peter again, getting ready to go and watch next year's Arnold. So hopefully we'll get to catch up with him a little bit there, do a little preview of what's going on with the Arnold. And guys, do your homework, learn the history. Hopefully this segment helped you a little bit. Until next time, Peter McGough, Mandus Buckle, Midwest Muscle Report. We're out.
Thank you.